School in first year in Scotland, right? When you were in first year, by the time you get to 6th year, there is no one left living in Scotland in the north of England. Every single person in Scotland
I'll still need sunlight
in the space of 5 years has been murdered. Now that's the scale of just the amount of Jews who were gassed and incinerated in the death camps. The entire population of Scotland disappears in the space of a school lifetime, which is a staggering statistic. There's a very famous writer, in fact, he was one of the Nazis. I think it was Goebbels, German military officer. He said, "The death of one man is a tragedy. The death of 1 million is a statistic." You know? So, interesting topic, but we're here to more or less hear a bit about art rather than the history of the Holocaust. And again, as I said, Akiva has updated his interest in genocide and hate crimes to include some quite big atrocities, massive. When I was like in the mid-70s in Cambodia, Pol Pot, who was the leader of the Khmer Rouge, a rebel army, killed 2 million of his own people, and that's been immortalised in a very famous book and movie called The Killing Field. So it's a progressing topic, but at the same time, what Akiva said there is, the more we can keep alive the memory of what people can do to each other, the more we can hope to make right rather than wrong choices. So I'll pass over to Mr. Stewart to fix up the camera. We're going to need to get it over.
Tell us what topic or topics have you chosen more than one you chose? Maybe I'll hold it up and show everybody. Which one? Separation. Anyone else or just that one?
Just
that one. Oh, no. Okay. Let me get this here. You got that? Okay. Kind of detailed, so I'll walk it close so you can all see. And what would you like to tell us about it, your classmates?
Separation about the Germans and then the Jews, and it's like they're all
Germans, please speak up.
Germans
Thanks.
are on one side and then Jews on the other, because the Jews are getting separated.
Can you hear that?
And the Germans are all together.
So the Germans are in the blue sky area, and Jews are on the kind of gray background, yeah? What's happening in the lower right?
Just like families together.
German families. Okay. Anything else that I can tell us? No? Anyone have any comments? Thoughts? Critical or otherwise? Feedback can be any which way. Constructive criticism. Non-constructive criticism, nothing. It's a tough crowd here. Okay. Like the two figures I personally like the most are this guy here and this girl here. They look kind of anguished. Anyone? Who'd like to go next? Thank you, Lee. Well, why don't you go next, then we'll work around this way.
Okay.
What topics did you choose?
Anxiety and anger.
Could you hear that? Anxiety and anger.
Anxiety.
That's the top, right? Young man. You just leave your drawing. You got enough done there? Take a look at this. And what would you like to tell us about it? What you chose, what you drew?
I think the fans and the
tackle marks?
All
The red on the wrists?
Mhm.
And what did you call these?
tally marks.
Tally marks? What's a tally mark?
Each day you would draw one.
Say it again?
Each day you would draw one.
Okay.
You're waiting for someone.
Like if someone was in a jail cell or something, a prison cell? Ah, tally marks. Uh-huh. And anything else? Anyone?
Because there's lots of tally marks, it shows you just how long it's going on for.
Can you repeat that?
Because there's lots of tally marks, you know, how long it's going on for and how long these people were stuck in there.
Uh-huh. So you kind of represent people who were in
Waiting to be free.
waiting to be free, or imprisoned, or I could come up with answers myself. I don't know if they would necessarily fit for you. Prison, ghettos, concentration camps, slave laborers, any of those kinds of things?
Everything.
What's that?
Everything.
Everything, okay. Anyone else? Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Thank you. You're on.
I chose despair and displacement.
Despair and displacement. In a metaphoric way, I see.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about what you depicted and why?
Well, the yellow bird is supposed to be an Aryan German bird, and it's ensnaring the Jewish bird in barbed wire, causing it despair.
Causing it despair.
Yeah, and the Jewish bird is obviously displaced because it's no longer able to fly.
So sorry, so the German bird, the Nazi black bird is the yellow one?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the other one's ensnared it like in barbed wire. Uh-huh, interesting. Anyone? Comments? Thoughts? Transgressions? Digressions? Kind of poetic lines there from someone else's poem. Indigestions? Beat poets in the 1950s. Anyone?
I think that it's very clever, you know, how you've kind of managed to incorporate two different ideas with one kind of image, if you want to think of it like that. So I think that, yeah, I like it. I like it. I think it's clever what you've done, and yeah, I like it. It's good.
Very good. I like all three of them so far. There's one here I won't like. So each individual response has its own merit and value, of course. What subject did you choose?
Despair and anger.
Despair and anger.
The bottom shows when they were alive how much they went through, like the bad things.
The blue.
Yeah. And
You talk about the victims.
yeah.
Okay.
And when they died, it's like they were set free.
These are the two wings, I assume. Yeah.
Yeah. And the top's meant to be like after they're dead, they're set free and
The white space.
like.
How does the white space make being set free or after the death? Just to hear what the metaphor is.
It's like it's their choice. Like they can do what they want.
After
And,
death.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Interesting. So, does that mean you're saying there's like a spirit or a soul or something after death? Is that what you mean?
Kind of.
Okay. I mean, those types of things are up to individual interpretation. Some people may believe in those and some people don't. Just interested to hear what your thought is on that. Yeah?
I think so.
Anybody? No comments, feedback at all? Okay. It's interesting, holding it up to the light, the figure you drew on the other side, which is like unfinished but very light, comes through. And it makes an interesting, I don't know if you can see that, it makes an interesting thing with the figure coming through, like right in the middle of where the two wings meet up. The white, to me, on top evokes stillness and silence. I think I may have mentioned that word in one of my drawings, the 3 Jews jumping from burning buildings during the Watergate uprisings. And the silence evokes death to me, so it's an interesting response. Good. You're on.
Mine shows separation.
So let me show this everybody. It's smaller in detail. I'll walk it around. Separation?
Yeah.
Okay. That one by itself?
Yeah, just separation.
Okay. See, by the way, you don't want to film more than, like, say 15 minutes at a time. So if you go with 15, then you can just start
Yeah.
a new segment. I'll have a look at this myself. And what would you like to tell us about it?
It's like all the sort of poorer people are all like
All the what?
like poorer people are all in one place.
Poorer people?
Yeah, they're all in like one place all together. Like they can't have any freedom 'cause they're
Which side is that?
this side. And like they don't like it, so it's like there's like loads of rain and lightning and that. And then on this side it's like the richer people who have freedom and can just do whatever they want.
So on this side you said there's freedom, and what did you say after that?
And the richer people and they can do whatever they want.
Uh-huh. So you got like hundreds, implied like hundreds of little people here, or people just depicted. What's with this person here on the right?
He's got wings to symbolise that he's free to do whatever he wants.
I see.
And so,
And I'm curious about, so the people who are like poor, like kind of imprisoned, interesting that you depicted the buildings. They kind of look like, not skyscrapers, but like tall,
yeah, like flats because they're all
yeah.
like into one small rooms, like in one place.
Uh-huh. So, is that a metaphor for like I know in British, English, Scottish, they probably have this in Wales too. You have all these multi-story, what do they call them, council housing flats. I saw on television last night some program on BBC about some of them being demolished because they were a mess, that were built in the 1970s. This is like a representing society here today?
Yeah, it's like, that's like the same bits.
Say what?
And that's like just,
And a different drawing on the back?
Yeah, again.
Same thing, same subject, I mean, anger displacement. Birds, top of a motif here. So what would you like to tell us about what's the anger and displacement here?
The bird is a dove and it's a peaceful creature, but it's surrounded by fire, what represents the anger, like people are having their freedom and peace drawn out of them, or taken away from them.
Uh-huh. So the bird's facing its own mortality, like being burned.
Yeah.
Good. I'm going to stop asking anyone else since not getting any other responses here. What did you choose? Thanks.
anger and like loneliness.
Anger and loneliness, okay. Gotta show everybody here. And what would you like to tell us?
Jews like trying to get away from it all,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the sort of holiness sides like Germans they stop them.
So what's this figure doing over here?
It's like one German tried to stop them all. Like from that road.
Okay. What's the what's going on in the center here? What's all that?
It's like they have nowhere else to go than it, so might as well just fall.
Say it again. Is it? Oh, what is the form here? Like, is it a road, for example? The airplane runway, or you don't know? Okay. What? And here, what's in the upper left?
It's like anger and this and that.
Anger is represented by
Like dark clouds.
dark clouds. Okay. Cool. What did you choose? Fear. And what would you like to tell us about it?
There's like a Jew can't go over the wall and there's German dogs chasing after him.
So, a Jewish person trying to go where?
Get away from the Germans.
Get away from Germans and being chased by dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs are a pretty powerful weapon when used against people. When I was your age, in the American South, and they were trying to blacks, African Americans, and their supporters were trying to desegregate schools and buses and luncheonettes and cafes and all kinds of public places which were segregated, so like blacks couldn't go into eat in places everyone who was white could go into. There were a lot of demonstrations. I was 13, 14, 15, and the police would set dogs on people, you know, tearing out, chomping into their legs and stuff. The Germans used dogs too when they would let people out of the train cars in concentration camps. Pretty nasty. Attack animals. But this is interesting to me. You have this kind of like rolling landscape here, and then it turns jagged on one side. What's that about?
Not sure the Jew's not got a very good life, but he wants to try and kind of get a better life by going probably.
He's going left, not right. So what's the what would the jagged side be? And what would that be next to it, to the right, like the blue area?
Here,
Yeah.
see, the sea,
The sea. Ah, okay.
but like
Yeah, metaphorically. Yeah. Okay, cool. Anybody? Yes. You're on.
I don't like separation.
Separation.
It's like
Go ahead. Okay. What was like? Tell us.
a person like behind a fence. So they're like separate from everyone else.
Speak up.
There's someone like behind a fence.
Someone behind a
They're, like,
fence.
separated from everyone else.
Separated from everyone else. Good. Anyone? Anything else? No? Okay. Good. What did you choose? Fear. And what would you like to tell us about it?
Like, different fears like what happened like between Germans and the Jews.
Different fears happen between you?
Yeah, like
How so?
fires, like the war, and like from getting separate from their families and stuff.
So, the people these would be Jewish people you portrayed here. And what's this here? No, okay. I can tell this is like fire and flames here. Just curious what that was. All right. What did you choose?
Separation, anger, and fear.
Separation, anger, and fear. All right. And what would you like to tell us?
Well, the girl with her arms stretched out, just separated from all her loved ones, and then there's a hand at the bottom who's reaching out for someone.
I couldn't hear you. There's a what?
The hand at the bottom is reaching out for someone, but there's nothing there. The face at the bottom is like someone that's scared. And that's led into concentration camps.
That's what did you say?
That's the railway leading to the concentration camps. That's fire representing anger.
Can you hear all that? Fire, okay, fire representing anger.
It's like the separation between the Jews and the Germans.
The interesting depiction to me in terms of this wall of separation, in terms of the colors. Why the colors green, yellow, and reddish?
I didn't really pick those colours for anything.
Oh, okay. That's good. And here in the upper right?
Well, that's the concentration camp.
Okay. Someone inside
Someone inside the gas chamber.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah. Huh. All right. Anybody? Okay, what did you choose?
Separation and despair.
Separation and despair. Okay, you want to get that here? What would you like to tell us?
Well, for the separation bit, I didn't do it as it was Jews and the Germans. I did it. It was the Jews who they were all separated one way or another, like families or from each other, and it's not a very good outcome either way because concentration camps and ghettos is kind of like a cage, and the different colours on the bricks is they had to provide the bricks for themselves and build it themselves. The barbed wire is kind of like chain. Fire. I did the actual tracks, the concentration camp as a fire to show the hatred from the the Nazis to the Jews, and the blue, and for probably loads of tears that were shed from the separation, and
all right, we're good. Anybody? You're last.
I chose anxiety and grief.
Anxiety and grief. Okay. What's that here? Let's see.
What's that?
And what would you like to tell us?
The person has their hands over their face because they're scared and they're sad about losing their loved ones, either in a fire or being trapped. And the blue represents like tears.
Tears. Anybody? Good. Anyone have any feedback about the workshop itself? What's that? Good. So if I was to come back next year when you're a year older, would you have any this is what I call constructive feedback. Would you have anything you'd want me to do differently in the workshop? Things evolve over the course of time. When I first began it 9 years ago. Anybody? Same way? Yeah? And what would I do to get all of you to talk more? What would you recommend? What's that?
Probably couldn't.
Probably couldn't? Anybody? No? Are you this quiet with, you can turn this off now. Thanks. Are you this quiet with